Imagine a console that can do everything from videos, music, internet access, and even video games. Now, what if I told you that there is a console like that, but it didn't come out in 2020, it came out in 2005? This is the story of the PSP and how somehow it failed. So we'll talk about the marketing and, well, let's just start rolling with it, shall we? The PSP was first released in Japan on December 12, 2004, and in North America on March 24, 2005. The console was, well, it was given quite a lot of positive reception for a lot of things. For the exclusive games that were on it, from Sackboy to Kingdom Hearts, for the amount of media you can put into it, and also for the fact that you actually could listen to music. In fact, it's very weird because in a world of 2020, we still don't have access to that even. In a way, the PSP is far superior than other consoles to date, which is very intriguing. You'd think that even by today, we'd have consoles that can do the same with the PSP. But another thing that also was really great with the PSP was, well, the fact that you could do more stuff with it. Believe it or not, the PSP is also known for the emulation field, and also for the fact that you can even use it as a camera. This console can do quite a lot, and also can be turned into a device of the person's willing. For example, I even turned this into, a GBA emulation, if you can believe it or not. Again, the PSP is widely versatile and you could even customize it today. Not just now, but even before, you could do the same if you'd like. Again, this console could do everything, and it really showed throughout the amount of versatility it had and through the customization it had as well. But why did the PSP fail? What was the result of this? Many have stated how the device itself may have been the problem, lack of memory, and just how insane the battery life was on the game, or the device itself, I should say. But I would say, in my opinion, it was all down to one thing, and that's marketing. From the corporate side of me, marketing is everything. If you don't market your product and you don't get your word out there, how are you able to get sales? Now, as for the games, there were quite a lot. When people stated how there wasn't much games on the PSP, I disagreed particularly. I mean, for example, you had Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Persona 3, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown, Final Fantasy Tactics, Assassin's Creed Bloodline, Monster Hunter, Dissidia. I mean, you had a lot of games on this console, so it wasn't the lineup that was the problem. More or less, it was really just the marketing alone and just these crazy commercials, funny enough, that were on the PSP and the PS3 that may have caused controversy and well, lack of eyes because of that. So I think personally it was the lack of marketing that didn't really drive people to get this console. Now, you could talk about how the device itself was maybe the problem, for the fact that it had also low graphics sometimes, and also the battery life and maybe the PSP memory itself, but I think personally that wasn't the problem. I think the problem was the lack of marketing. And again, this is just how companies work. If you don't get your word out there, well, it's less likely your game or your product will really sell. So I think that was sort of the problem with PSP, personally. Oh, and the PSP Vita? Oh, we don't talk about that. No, joking aside, I would argue the same as for the PSP Vita, the lack of innovation, the lack of marketing, and also the change-up. In fact, if you've seen the interface system for the PSP Vita, it isn't pretty. That's one of the things that I love about the original PSP. When you open it up for the first time, it really gives you the sense that you have a PS3, but just in your hands. And I think if the PSP Vita really did have the PSP or the PS3 theme in a way, I think it could have actually grappled on top, possibly. But again, the lack of marketing and the lack of funding for that type of stuff really did fall flat on Sony. But I think if they were to try it again, and they were to do a lot of marketing from, let's say, advertisements on commercials on TV and also online, I think they could start a change. And we can launch the handheld market again, which has been recently quite a struggle. I mean, when's the last time you've really seen a Switch? Well, they are popular. I would argue, are technically home consoles. They're not really consoles you'd go on when you're on the go, but again, I could be wrong. But I really hoped that the PSP, just in general, would have been still a thing, because that was the remarkable thing about the PSP. It still does so much more than the consoles of 2020. From, let's say, the video, from the music, playability, and just going on the internet. That's still a problem with consoles of today. and they really could learn from a console that did it way better that came out in 2005. So that's going to be the video. If you haven't, take a look at my other videos. If you'd like, subscribe, and maybe even share this with someone you know. Maybe this could give them some insight on what the PSP was and what it could have been. So that's going to be it. If you'd like, take a look at my other content on my description if you'd like, and I will see you guys a little bit later. Peace out.